What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the new Lego Harry Potter Privet Drive Aunt Marge's Visit, set 76451 with 639 pieces that retails for $90 US. So this is a pretty cool build where we get Privet Drive number 4 once again, this time more of what I call a dollhouse set, so it sort of opens up so you get the interior inside to play with, as well as the exterior to represent the house, which looks good, kind of how they have it here where it's all opened up. But it's cool that we get it Aunt Marge Visits, so we get Aunt Marge as well as her in the blown up version that Harry does to her in Prisoner of Azkaban. We get 5 figures with this set, so they're all located down here. Of course, we'll look at those. So we get the house. So of course, some interiors, we get some exterior stuff that looks more like Chamber of Secrets with like the bars on the window. Of course, we get Ripper as well, which is awesome. And then just a little sign here. So overall, it's pretty nice. I like the exterior. It looks, pretty much exactly like the house. Could be a little bit bigger though, as with everything kind of shrinking down with Lego. But we can spin around to see the interior, so we can see what the interior of the house looks like. And they did a pretty decent job with that. Obviously, not every room is represented, but they did a good job with what we got here. And of course, we get the room under the stairs, so that's all pretty nice. So like I said, overall, they did a pretty good job with the interior build of this set as well. So I was pretty happy with it overall. Like the character selection, don't really know who else you could really add in with it, but getting that blown up Aunt Marge is pretty much the best thing about this set as well. So let's go ahead and look at that set, starting with the minifigures. So here we have our 5 minifigures, of course, starting off with Harry, which looks good. It appears how he does in Prisoner of Azkaban. So we probably got this more recently, probably the exact same figure design with that night bus, because obviously we have the issue of Aunt Marge blowing up, him leaving the house and getting picked up by the night bus. So it'd be a nice addition to this set as well. So it looks good for Harry. Of course, looks kind of like him, has the shorter legs, but the middle legs that move. So that's really nice, especially to be able to sit around and do stuff in the house as well. But he got a blue jacket on over a blue flannel, it looks like, with sort of grayish blue shirt. Of course, has his dark brown wand, the normal Harry face with the glasses, scar on his head and a little smirk, his messy black hair, and a stoic face or angry face there on the back. So looks good for Harry, kind of typical there. Then we get Dudley as well, again, as he appears in the movie. So of course, in the movie, he's always distracted watching the TV show. So he's just sitting at the table eating, watching the show constantly, not paying attention really to anything else going around. So he has a napkin there around his neck, so on top of his shirt, which is a nice blue shirt with light blue, dark blue, some gray designs as well. He has black leggings, again, in the shorter legs that move. And then we get his face there, just, kind of typical face, nothing too fancy or distinct there for Dudley, with the hair sort of combed over to the side, and he has a shocked face there on the back. Now, mine has a printing here. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. It's like a misprinting or something, but some blue that came over. So not sure what's going on there, but overall, just having Dudley is nice. Then we get Uncle Vernon, which of course I wish would be fatter. They do have some printing design here to show him his fat belly, but I wish they had be able to add some fat characters in the Lego. But nice face design, of course, looks angry with his gray mustache, eyebrows, and his gray hair. And of course, there's a little bit of a smirking face there on the back, which doesn't really fit for Uncle Vernon, so definitely have to keep the angry face. And it looks like the printing's off center, so if I have the face centered in the front, the one in the back's kind of a little off to the side, so may have had some issues with the printing there, it seems like. Then he's got a nice shirt. It's like the sand color with the dark green and lighter green. Looks pretty good with some normal sized legs in brown, so looks good for Uncle Vernon. And we get Aunt Petunia, which looks nice as well, so nice her face. I always love how it always says like the little, I always call it like turtle mouth or whatever sort of design there with the lipstick. Of course, angry looking face overall. Her brown curly hair with a smile there on the back as well. And then just her outfit design, so she's wearing like a white sweater of some sort with leaves and stuff, a little brooch and everything, and some like burgundy color pants. Then moving over to Aunt Marge, which I think is the first time I've ever had Aunt Marge. I don't know if it's the first time they've ever made her or not, but looks good. Of course, she has the angry face, older face with some wrinkles and all that. She has the same hair as Petunia, just in a more blondish gray color with no printing on the back of her head. Then she's got a nice outfit design, so this yellowish button-up shirt with some designs, a necklace, and like a nougat collar jacket over the top, and then some brown pants. You see some of the pants all the way up there to her belly, and then the brown pants there, so looks good overall for Aunt Marge. And of course, she also comes with her bulldog of Ripper, so that's pretty nice. Little bulldog design there. Love the blue color and everything. Looks pretty good to get Ripper there as well. But as I mentioned, the star of this set is the blown up Aunt Marge, so we get the same sort of outfit design and all that, just she's all blown up this time using their new ball design. So with the little feet off to the side, her arms sticking out there as well, which do move back and forth, so that's nice. Her blown up head there, so we can see her face, and sort of hair design. Of course, it's just printing the pieces onto the Lego pieces, so not the best overall. And her ripping up shirt and jacket and blown up belly and stuff, so we have that. And of course, we'll get a clear piece we can stick on and have her sort of floating in the air, so it's really nice that that is included as well. So overall, nice minifigure selection. Like I said, I always want more figures, but I don't really know what else you could add into this set. So that brings us to our actual set, which does remind me, I did have an issue with this set. Obviously, as you saw with the printing there on Dudley, I assume it's not supposed to be like that. Possibly the Uncle Vernon's head printed over to the side. Nothing too crazy, but I will point out when we get to the set on this. So first we got this little sign, of course, of Privet Drive. Looks like maybe the printing was off on this because there's a lot more of this like teal blue color that they used a lot in this set for some reason. Just right above the wording, it like immediately goes in instead of having white space around it. So don't like that too much, but you know, it's just a little sign, so not like it matters. With a street lamp, and of course we get Hedwig there with the little plants and stuff over to the side. So always hate this sort of stuff. I don't really care for it, but it is nice that they did include it and gives a place to put Hedwig and all that. But that brings us to our house itself. Again, it's a dollhouse sort of design, so I spin it here, you get the full-size house, and you can split it in the center and do like a dollhouse design. But we get the front of the house that looks good. It looks pretty much like it does in the pictures and stuff from the movie, so it looks good. So we get our front door, of course, with a sticker piece already on it showing all of our mail being stuffed in. Get nice like greenery and plants and stuff, so plants on each side of the doorway, get hanging plant up here, plants under the window, and a little thing, and a bush or tree over here to the side using those fern pieces, so that looks pretty nice. Nice window design that I always love with like the English house designs like this, and that's like the line designs and stuff on it, so that looks good. But what I want to point out though, my issue is that I somehow lost the sticker for the number 4 that goes on here. When I pulled the sticker sheet out, it was missing, and I couldn't find, I thought maybe it fell off in the box or something. Could not find it anywhere in the box, on any of the bags, just anywhere it could possibly be. I checked and could not find it anywhere, so I did not get my sticker, unfortunately. So just like I said, another issue with the set, some weird stuff going on with it for me. But then we get a nice little lantern, and of course like a downspout for water and stuff. Going up to the second floor where we get the different windows, again 3 windows and a single window. Some brick like design we get with a lot of the Harry Potter sets. A brown roof on top with some tiling. We have some different pipes and stuff, so like a pipe here, some leaves sort of growing off, and a little antenna over to the side, because you have to remember it's supposed to be set in the 90s, so we'd have antenna TV and all that sort of stuff there. So that looks good. And we'll go and spin around, just do the exterior just all together. Of course, we get this side. This is where you can open it. We get 2 little pieces here that you can grab onto and open it up pretty easily. And of course, we get the thing that have Aunt Marge flying. So we have this piece that we can obviously pull out and stick it in either place that we want it off the house there, and spin around to the back of the house. So we get the nice like little garden area. I forget what this is, but it's like, you know, nice glassed in area that they have on the back of their house, you know, like a sunroom sort of thing. And again, a lot of plants around and stuff, so down around the bottom and everything, little stepping stones, maybe like a little bird feeder or bird house sort of off to the side here, some more plants. Then we get a ladder going up to the window where we get the bars on the back. Like I said, now that's more from the second movie, or Chamber of Secrets, so I don't know why it's on here, because it'd be off the window by now, but it is a nice addition, at least, you know, represents some of the movie. And then we do also have a hidden door back here as well that I'll show you with a nice little lantern and stuff, but it's a hidden door to get into the staircase. Of course, the back door is over here open, and one of them always opens, like you do little movements and it's always open, so that's kind of annoying, but always nice to have more windows. And then just the other side of the house where it's connected together to do the dollhouse design. So overall, look wise, it is pretty nice. Now, we did get Privet Drive a couple years ago. I wish I had that set out and built, but it's in storage just to do comparison. Now it was only, you got like, you know, 1/2 the house, so you'd only get like this much. Obviously, I think it was much bigger in size and width and everything, so probably more thrown in there, but obviously didn't have the more proper setup. Now, I do want to show, as we open the front door here, you do see open, you get the stairs off to the side. Of course, not the exact same layout, because in the movie it had a little like landing and then up the stairs, but still nice, and it leads all the way back towards like the kitchen and stuff. So it does have a similar, as much as they could fit in here, layout, which I think is pretty nice. Now we'll go ahead and open up the house here. Again, like I said, it's like a dollhouse design, so you open up and can play inside and all that. So we get our front door over here to the side. Again, another sticker on the back side showing the wood they put over the mail entry and stuff. Then we get an umbrella, phone, nice picture here over to the side. Looks just like of London, because it looks like Big Ben and everything. Entering into the living room, so we get a nice little living room set with our fireplace, so just some design, a nice clock, the picture of the family without Harry there in the back above the fireplace. Of course, a letter coming in through the fireplace there. Again, hard to see with some of the lighting, so sorry about that. And a chair you can put characters in, and we also get a TV there in the back, and the TV's playing whatever the like talent show they had on the TV that Dudley was obsessed with watching. So a nice TV in the back there as well. And above that, we get Dudley's room. So this whole section is Dudley's room, which of course it's mentioned in the books and stuff that Dudley had 2 rooms until it was kind of forced for them to give one up to Harry. So we get Harry's room on the other side over here, but we get all this room for Dudley, so it looks pretty nice. We get his bed design, which looks cool. Nice desk here with a computer on it, so playing computer games. Picture there of him boxing, because in the books Dudley does become like a boxing champion and stuff, so we get some boxing. All sorts of sweets hidden around here, so we get some chocolates, cookies, donuts, ice cream, and then a controller here to play video games on the TV as well, because I do believe in the books it's mentioned he has a PlayStation. Of course, there's just some random like game. It looks like maybe it says MM3 on the TV TV. It's hard to really tell. I know you probably can't see it on the sticker there, but just nice design. Bringing in stuff that, like I said, is mentioned in the books and everything into the Dudley's room is really nice. But then we'll move over to the other side, which once again we did the lower level, which I think we'll do that last just because it's kind of more important. But we get a bathroom here. Of course, we don't ever see the bathroom in the movies or anything, but they have to have a bathroom, so you get a nice green toilet, sink and stuff over to the other side, and place you would sit characters if you want. So just a bathroom for no reason. And then we get Harry's room, so we get Harry's bed, and then another thing of Bertie Bott's that's kind of thrown in everything. Gryffindor little banner there in the back, and then some pictures. Not really sure if I know what's going on. They may have just been some pictures because we have the stairway here, so probably just pictures along the stairway leading up to the window. So it's not really separated off nicely for Harry's room or anything, but that's just what's supposed to be his actual room. But then we can move down to the first story where we get the kitchen area. Now we don't get the actual kitchen, so usually in the movie and stuff you go past the stairs and the kitchen would be like back in this area. We don't really get that, but we do get the dining area, so we get a dining table, of course, where Aunt Marge gets blown up and all that, but we have a table here with some cups on it. This does come out. It's just got jumper plates, so you can easily take it out and have the little table set up for dinner and all that. And then we get some stuff in the back, so we get the cake from the second movie as well. Nice light designs up top. I forget what those are called, but whatever the lighting is, some desserts looks like an egg. It looks like maybe a stove here or some sort of thing, something you can open there with a pan up top, and then another TV as well with the same show on it. Of course, that Dudley's obsessed, so you can have Dudley sit here in the back just watching the TV constantly. And then of course that leads to the outside, so we get the like sunroom area there in the back. And of course over here to the side we do get the entrance door into the room under the stairs, so if I can get a hold of it there and get that open, we can lead to Harry's old room under the stairs. But as I mentioned, in the back there is actual a door that allows you to get into there much more, so we gotta just lift the ladder up out of the way and grab onto this and it'll open up leading into that. So there we get Harry's bed, and there's like a toy and stuff down in there, so just nice that that is still included in there, although we never see it, you know, after he moves up into his own room and everything. But still nice that they included that in there as well, because that's obviously a pretty big part of the Harry storyline. So pretty nice interior. Like I said, it doesn't have anything. The only thing that it doesn't really have, you know, that I really care about is the actual kitchen, but you know, not necessary anything. But they did a really good job, especially with the size and everything of this, like the small size, how much they were able to fit in was quite surprising for me. So they, like I said, I think they did do a pretty good job overall. Of course, this tree fell off again. So as I mentioned, it is more that dollhouse design, so we can take all our characters, you know, put them inside to sort of fulfill the house and stuff. And like I said, we can take this blown up Aunt Marge, attach her to the clear piece that comes off to the side here, and have her sort of floating away as she does in the movie and all that. So like I said, overall a pretty fun design. I think I had some issues, you know, some printing on the characters and missing the number 4 sticker there for the house. Not that it's major, just, you know, number 4 Privet Drive is kind of important, so it'd be nice to have just that number 4 to go on this black piece here. But otherwise, I think they did a good job. Like I said, for as small as the set is, they got a lot of the interior in there nice and properly, and all the little details they threw in. Getting the additional blown up Aunt Marge as well is pretty cool for this set, something I would never think we would ever get. But overall, a pretty good set here for the Dursleys house. So let me know what you thought of this set down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like and hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.